So the topic is how to meet a parent where they are at in a respectful way. And I kind of approached this topic about how do you handle your relationship with the parents respectfully and meeting their needs, meeting the child's need, and meeting your needs without becoming argumentative or challenging or judgmental. So that's what I'm going to talk about. A little bit about me. My name's Stefanie. I've been working in this industry for about 40 years, so I'm older. And I primarily work as a nanny or newborn care specialist. The last 10 years, I've primarily worked as a infant nanny newborn care specialist. So I stay with families 6 to 18 months. Primarily in high net worth and ultra high net worth fields. I also run a coaching program where I have a coaching and mentoring program for people that are working for high net worth, ultra high net worth families, or looking to get into that particular area because it has some special challenges that we don't see with everyday families. I've been around for a long time, 40 years. And at the beginning, I was approached childcare differently. So I've had exposure to a lot of different ways of working with children, managing children, supporting their development. And some things that I did 40 years ago, I wouldn't do today. Things that I did with my children who are now in their early 30s, I would not repeat. But you learn along the way. And that experience has allowed me to take a look at things and not only say, oh, I wouldn't do that, but why wouldn't I do that? What did I see what happened that then caused other things to happen later? And I think that really brings a lot to the table for me. It lets me, really extrapolate some of those things. It also, though, allows me to have some grace when I'm approaching working with parents, because often parents want more than we can make happen, than they can make happen. And so it doesn't always have to be 100% cut and dry. If you're not doing it this way, you must be a bad parent. And I think that having those different experiences and that long-term experience has really helped me be a little bit more respectful in working with parents to help them reach their goals. So that's just the intro part. So being a nanny is really a challenge. And this is a really good topic because many of our challenges stem from this relationship, this communication that we have with parents. Often I have talked to nannies that have said, my nanny job would be fantastic if the parents just weren't involved, if they were just not there. Because I get along, right? I know. I interviewed for a family where they had two infants. The infants were what they called twinblings. So they were both by surrogate and a couple months apart. They had purchased the house next door to their house. And the house was for the children. And they were hiring rotational nanny team to handle the children, who would then come over to the parents' house for dinner and like scheduled play dates. And it sounds horrible, right? In terms of attachment and child development, it's terrible. But from a nanny perspective, I'm like, oh, this sounds fantastic. You're basically hiring me and you're going to pay me a ton of money, give me my own house, and I can raise these children. I'm like, that'd be great. But in reality, we know that's actually would be horrible for the children. But this relationship that we have with the parents can be really challenging. So the first thing to consider is there's really three different things at play. What's in the best interest of the child? What works best for the parent? And then what works best for us? Because sometimes things that work best for the child is just certainly not feasible for a nanny or a newborn care specialist. I have a endorsement in infant mental health and a background in attachment. And I know that cycling in different people can cause attachment issues with children, particularly young children. On the other hand, hiring one person to work 24/7 for the first 3 years of a child's life is not in the best interest of the nanny. I mean, it's just, you will burn your people out. So those things are at a conflict. So we have to think about, when we're approaching decisions, we're approaching these conflicts, what's best for the child, what's best for the parent, and what's best for us, or what's sustainable, what can really happen.